Warm greetings of the day to all my diligent learners. This is Liju ma'am from TIS with the explanation of the topic Modal Verbs Part 1. In this video, we are going to learn about the concept, types and usages of modal verbs in detail. So, let's get started. First of all, what are modal verbs? These are special verbs which behave irregularly in English. They give additional information about the function of the main verb that follows it. They are used to indicate modality and allow speakers to express certainty, possibility, willingness, obligation, necessity, ability. To understand these verbs in a better way, let us know about their characteristics as well. First of all, they function as auxiliary verbs which modify the modality of another verb which they govern. This verb or the principal verb generally appears as a bare infinitive, that is without the word to. Secondly, these verbs never change their form. You can't add s, ed, ing to it. They don't have the infinitive form as well. And mostly they are followed by the first form of the verb, that is V1. On the basis of these characteristics, these verbs have been divided into two main categories. First, principal modal verbs. This category consists of shall, should, will, would, may, might, can, could, and must. These verbs have all the characteristics of modal verbs. For example, we should pay our taxes in time. He should pay his taxes in time. Here, the verb should has not changed its form no matter the subject is singular, that is he, or the subject is plural, that is we. Moving on to the second category, semi-modal verbs. This category consists of ought to, used to, dare, need. They are sometimes, but not always, categorized as modal verbs. For example, ought and used are followed by the infinitive form of main verb, which is not the characteristics of the principal modal verbs. For example, he ought to pull his socks so that he scores well in examination. So learners, these were the types of modal verbs. Now it's time to look into the usages of first 6 modal verbs, starting with can. The verb can help us to express various situations like ability, as in I can run fast. Possibility, you can get into trouble if you drive so fast. Permission, in an informal scenario. For example, you can finish your homework later. If you are offering a help or requesting for help, again, you can make use of the modal verb can. For example, can you pass me the salt? Next modal verb is could. Again, it expresses various situations like past tense of can. When he was young, he could dive from a greater height. If the speaker is making a polite request or offering a help. For example, could you pass me the salt? Permission in semi-formal and polite situation. For example, could I bring my friend along? Next is the possibility, as in we could be in trouble here. Next in the list is must, which is again used in multifarious situation. For example, first one, necessity or requirement for something. For example, you must fill this form to apply for the job. Command or advise, as in you must bring along an umbrella as it is going to rain. And finally, the suggestion here, she must read more often. Moving on to the next, may. May is again used to express different situations like possibility. My aunt may come tomorrow to meet us. Permission in a formal scenario. For example, may I assist you, please? And if the speaker is wishing for something, may God bless you. Next in the list is might. And the situations are as follows. Past tense of may, as in she said that her aunt might come the next day. Possibility, but here there is a greater degree of doubt than the modal verb may. My aunt might come tomorrow to meet us. Here the chances of my aunt coming is very less. Polite permission. For example, might I suggest an idea? The last modal verb in this video is shall, which is used in situations like futurity, when the subject is first person, that is I and we. For example, we shall all gather on the beach this weekend. On the other hand, when we use shall with second and third person, that is you, he, she, they, it becomes a command, rule and law. For example, you shall leave now as he is waiting for you. Suggestion. For example, shall I read now? So, that's all in this video about modal verbs. This is Liju Susan Thomas, TGT English from TIS signing off. Thank you and happy learning to all.